It's John, and I'm back again, and it happened. I really liked that S.H.Figuarts, and I had to get another one. And I went with Ranma. Like back in the late 80s, early 90s was when the anime slow boom was beginning, and I found Ranma 1/2 around that time, and it's a very silly, fun anime that I really liked, and so here is Ranma in his girl form. If you haven't seen the show, it's kind of crazy to explain, but it's a young martial artist who gets cursed to, whenever he gets wet, to turn into a into a girl, and then he needs to have, I believe, hot water poured on him to turn back into a boy, and it goes through all of his trauma with that experience. But it's kind of fun. It's something we once cosplayed as, and maybe I'll put some just images in the photo. But here's the box. Bandai Ranma 1/2. You can see the figure inside. He's got a bunch of goodies, just like they do. Here he is in a cool little pose. Here's a little reference to the manga and some other stuff you can do, and it looks pretty cool. And there's a lot of, oh, it's bluefin, so that's kind of cool. And I did see that they have a few others, so I might have to pick them up. I went with this one first because it's kind of what my wife cosplayed as. She made the whole outfit, and it was pretty cool. So anyway, I'll get this out of the package and we'll take a closer look. Here we have Ranma outside of the package, and just like the little Goku, he is a pretty cool figure. Pretty simple. Just has the shirt piece, which looks like it might rotate. It's weird that it hikes up on the side right there a little bit. You can see underneath it. Yeah, that's strange and going to be interesting to deal with. Then there's the skirt piece and basic pants and the shoes and the itty bitty teeny hands that are always crazy that they are changeable, and pretty cool face. And that has a basic smiling little face there. I guess we'll might as well look at all the articulation real quick. And her head is on a ball joint, so you get a heck of a lot of movement out of it. Up and down, side to side. It can rotate all the way around. The little pigtail is even on a swivel, which is kind of neat. And then she has the ball jointed shoulders as well at the peg and at the socket, so both can move up and down, and as well as swivel. And man, yeah, there's a high range of movement just in that little shoulder piece. Then the elbow is pretty much a single jointed elbow, but the way it's designed, you can smack yourself in the face, and it also swivels right here. And then there is the wrist and hinge at the, wrist at the hinge, and it also swivels. Wow, those are so tiny. And then there is the joint there at the abdomen and at the waist. You can crunch up and down a little bit, and the legs go pretty far, and they do pop back up and in, so you can get more range of motion with them. See how they drop? I just lost the staff. And then they pop back into place, which is pretty cool. And then they have the knee joints, which give a very large range of motion, so you can get all sorts of crazy jumping poses. And they kind of just disappear when the legs are straight. You can see them on the back, pretty heavy though. And they have they have a swivel to them. And there's a hinge and swivel at the foot, which is a very nice range of movement. And for being those tiny little feet, it does stand pretty well on its own. It does come with the hot water kettle, which is nicely painted gold, just like the show. a bow staff to fight with, a very nice sword. It has this nice shiny detail to it, a little bit of texturing. There it goes, and some pretty nice work on the hilt. And then we have the other faces. So this is always the creepy part. I'm going to assume it's the same as Goku, where the hair piece comes off. It's on there pretty good. Come on. There it goes. Whoa. That's pretty bizarre looking. And then you can take off. There we have our no-face Ranma. Oh, creepy. So you got the smiley happy face. You have, looks like a kind of laughing face. You have a smug face. And you have the embarrassed face. Let's put on the more angry looking one now. It just kind of slides in this socket. And the hair goes back on up here. And now we've got definitely an angry face. And being a Figuarts figure, they are nice enough to supply you with a nice base for posing. And you can just clip on like so. Oh, bummer. Might have to rotate that. Didn't realize they were pegged in that way. Let's twist it this way, and then they shouldn't fall off. Let's see if we can get it to look like it's up in the air. Not too bad. It does stand off the ground. This helps it keep its pose. And then, again, just like Goku, there are a ton of hands. Oh no, which makes me nervous because they're so tiny. And this one just jumped to the floor. Let's see if we can get... There's the gripping hand. There's a splayed out hand. And it looks like there is a chopping hand. And then there is like the peace sign hand, maybe. I'm not sure. That's what it kind of looks like to me. But then you get those sets of hands. And I guess I'll put one on. Let's go with the gripping hand. This is always crazy because the peg is so small. Wow. Well, it popped off pretty easy. Let's see if it goes on just the same. I mean, look at this tiny little thing. Yeah, it's not that easy. Come on. Oh, there it goes. Whew. Well, that is a gripping hand. The grip looks pretty tight towards the sword here, but oof. Well, it's kind of soft. Looks like you might be able to pry it open. Oh man. Yeah, that's tough. I really want you to hold your sword. Oh, there it is. Cool. Alright. So the red-haired, pigtailed girl, it's got her weapon. Very cool. Yep. It'll be fun to pose these guys together when you get a couple of the other ones. And I think that's pretty much everything. Oh, wait, no, there's one more thing. Also came with this. I'm not sure what it says. Maybe it says Ranma. Anybody know what this says? It has a little sign holder for it. What I have seen they have, looks like a Kane Ryoga shampoo and the male Ranma. And hopefully they'll do a few more of the characters. And I'll have to pick them up. They're pretty neat. The S.H.Figuarts figures are so well done. Crazy amount of poses you can get them in just by barely even trying is pretty absurd. Yeah, they're going to be fun to play with. Well, if you haven't watched this series, I would definitely recommend maybe giving it a try, because it is pretty fun and entertaining. I mean, his dad turns into a panda bear of all things, and has to deal with that. And the skirt piece is a little weird, but I guess when you put it like so, you don't see that no more. So that'll be something to deal with. Anyway, thanks for watching, and let me know down in the comments if you guys have checked this out, if you've seen the Ranma series, and if you have, what's your favorite character, because there are a ton of them in it. Of course, other than Ranma, Shampoo and Ryoga are two of my favorites, so I'm glad that they have figures out already. And thanks for watching, and subscribe for more videos. I'll probably be doing more figure arts. I'm curious, does this top come off? It almost looks like it does. Nope. Because their figures are great, and I'm starting to really want more of them. Thankfully, not every one of their figures are super expensive right now, but a lot of them are, and I'll see you guys later. Alright, bye. Hi, I just want to say thank you one more time for